Yeah, good morning. Today is January the 25th, so that means 2 days ago, my niggas, it was my 4-month anniversary. That's a quarter of a year, y'all. Quarter of the year, been living in this motherfucking, situation, this van life shit, this thug life shit. I do have I have a couple of points that I wanted to touch on today. I didn't want this to be such a loosey-goosey type video. Turning these down a little bit. First things first, let me get my first point off, and then I could get on to some little bit freestyle type, ramble type shit. Whereas, my nigga Shuex, dog, that's my nigga right there. I felt personally that I had to give you a shout out because you're the one that's just holding it down in the comment section the most. You holding it down, just all my videos, you fuck with them. And honestly, I think about the future and what I would like for this channel. Because, honestly, I don't have no real goal for it. I mean, I just do it because I like this shit. But, I do feel like, and there's gonna be in the future where this shit is fucking popping, dog. And I don't know, bro. It's just gonna be one of them things where I feel like the only person I'm gonna remember throughout this whole shit is my nigga Shuex. I'm not trying to throw no shade. I ain't trying to throw no shade at these other niggas who subscribe and shit. But there's a special place in my heart for my nigga Shuex. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, all into the next day, or not the next day, but the next point. And forgive me, y'all, I'm a little bit geeked the fuck up because I'm not, nigga, you know I'm broke as a motherfucker, dog. I ain't no sponsorship. But there's two things I fell in love with during this whole 4-month period. Number one, Dunkin' fucking Donuts, dog. They don't got the pumpkin latte no more, or the gingerbread latte. The Christmas time is over. No more gingerbread. But they do have a motherfucking ice caramel latte shit that go fucking hard. And nigga, I ain't even had shit for breakfast today. I had a couple of pieces of some turkey jerky. But onto the damn program, dog. I'm fucking up my tongue game and shit. Song of the day today has been Dom Kennedy, My Benz. It was just that song that came on. Well, I put it on shuffle, and that bitch came on, and it just allowed me to kind of wake up. I believe I explained in previous video, maybe in my 3-month anniversary, how it's wintertime now and shit, so it's a little bit harder to wake up. The sun comes up an hour later, so it's you lose an hour of productivity. The weather makes you not want to really do shit. I've been spending a lot more time in my van than I usually would, whereas when I first started doing this shit, it was September, so it was still pretty warm and shit. I think the typical day nowadays is in the 50s, which is kind of garbage. And next week it's gonna be raining all fucking week. So I've been mainly doing the shit I would do outside, just sitting in the sun, reading my books and shit. I've been having to do all that shit in here. I've been watching a little bit more anime. But the thing is, I'm recently coming out of a little of a slump. I wouldn't say I was down in the dumps, but it was just more so I didn't have too much motivation. Maybe a couple of weeks ago and earlier in this month. And I just got into a real deep anime, watching separate anime, not really making videos on those, but just fucking with that shit. And there'd be days where I didn't even get out my van until I went to work type shit. So I would do my little stretches. I started pissing inside fucking water jugs. Usually I would at least go outside and piss on the bush, but typically I'd be fuck that shit. But today's a different day. I feel even when I got out and I did my stretching today, it was just I just suddenly felt you know what? I have more time than I really think I do. I could chill, my nigga. It's a Sunday for me, even though it is Monday. I got work again tomorrow, but I ain't really stressed over that shit. I feel as far as the work situation goes, I'm in a position where I've always been comfortable at my job, but I feel everyone kind of just got over the little beefs that that we've had with each other. We're just, being more cordial. I could go in and talk to motherfuckers now. There's no more little silly games being played and shit. But on to my first fucking point on my list of just this whole 4-month journey is, so I've been riding dirty, right? Of course I put the car and everything in my name and whatnot, but I always figure fuck this, I ain't getting no fucking insurance. Fuck these niggas. I'm riding dirty, baby. Fuck these niggas. Cause my homie, he told me his parents don't even have insurance, but at the same time, they're not even they're not citizens, so they don't really need to get that shit. No one's knowing that they're driving the fucking car in the first fucking place. But my sister had showed me a picture of some mail I got at the house, where it was the DMV. They sent me some fucking letter talking about, dog, We see that you got a van, bruh. So if you don't put some insurance on that bitch, we gonna fuck around and terminate your registration for your vehicle. So it's gonna be. I wonder if they could tell though. Like, I mean, I got the tags right. But I mean, fuck them niggas. I don't know. I don't want to risk this shit. I'm gonna get some basic ass. I'm gonna get the Fiesta insurance, my nigga. Like the one with the fucking crow. I'm gonna get that shit. I'm gonna fuck with the Fiesta niggas. Cause I'm not trying to get no motherfucking expensive ass insurance. Cause I don't plan on getting in an accident. And even if I did, bruh, at this point, I'm just like, fuck it, dog. I'm gonna keep driving. Like, I don't got no time for this bullshit, nigga. I'm not trying to, like, fuck the bullshit. So yeah, the man is on my ass. I need some fucking insurance, which is kind of sick, kind of lame. Cause like now I'm gonna have two bills. All I really have is my Metro bill. It's like $40 a month. And I figured out, like, even if I go over my data, they don't even charge me extra. It's just, it allegedly goes slower, but I haven't even noticed any difference. So I got unlimited data for the low. And now I'm gonna have whatever the fuck insurance I'm have to get. I'm not really looking forward to this shit because, it was cool, not having any fucking bills. But my next point, dog. All right, so this gets into like my whole mentality type things. I miss mushrooms. I miss fucking doing mushrooms. And it's just because I only tripped maybe one time. I only tripped one time, and ever since then I've taken like really small doses. And the thing with like when you take small doses of the mushroom, it's kind of like, it's like a weird like, say if you're drinking like coffee, it's kind of like the same fucking shit, except like I don't want to sound like a hippie, dog. Like, imagine it energizing your mentality rather than like your whole body and shit, and you're like cleaning fucking whatever the fuck. Now you could go to work, type shit. It's different. It just like it's like the same thing where I talked about Nofap, in which I have failed. I have failed Nofap, bruh. It's like the thing I can't get right, bruh. I could quit smoking weed easily. Nofap is different. Just because like jacking off is free, bruh. Buying weed, it costs money, and I'm at this point where I'm just like, I'm not gonna spend money on weed. That's stupid. I can't afford to spend money on weed. But jacking off is free, dog. And as far as weed goes, I've been sober for 3 months. I haven't drank in 3 months either. I was never really a big drinker. I used to smoke weed a lot. But even upon moving out, I kind of slowed that shit the fuck down too. But the mushrooms, man, I miss the mushrooms because it was just so easy to just be more social. And it's not like it just turns you into like this social butterfly. It's just kind of like, it kind of erases the, I don't want to say anxiety, but there's like a fear that I feel everyone has, where they're like, you know what, I would say this to this person if I knew him more. Whereas like in my experience, the mushroom kind of eliminates that whole, well, let's get to know each other first before I say this type of thing to you, where you're just like, you know what, fuck it. We're just people. We're human beings. Life's short. Hey. Yeah, and then you go on and say some shit like that. And then it always turned out to be like a pretty good thing. It's like, it's weird. It's just like, I think a lot of people are just afraid to have certain conversations with each other, or even just break certain boundaries, where it's like, you kind of afraid, even more so now than ever, like you're kind of afraid of getting in trouble of shit that you might say. You might offend somebody or whatever the fuck. What I really learned is, as long as you say shit with confidence and you say shit without even like, or you're unapologetic with the shit, people kind of don't even realize that they're supposed to be offended in the first place. They're just like, oh, okay, well, that I heard you. I'm not sad. But when you feel guilty about, or when you seem guilty about saying some shit, like if I'm like, say if I'm a white motherfucker and I go up to him, hey, what's up, nigga? Like, as long as you say that shit with confidence, bruh, they might not even notice that you called him a nigga. They were like, oh, what's up, bro? Like, that's just who he is type shit. But yeah, I miss mushrooms, man. I fucking miss them. They're fucking illegal, so I can't grow them. I used to go, yeah, I can't grow them shits in here. I can't even have them shits. If the motherfucker, I'm not going to jail, bro. I cannot survive jail. I would get raped. I got hit on by a dude today. Today was laundry day. Motherfucker, like, it's weird. It's weird how some dudes, like, you could look at a dude just on accident and niggas would just be thinking you're checking them out. And I'm pretty sure if you're a woman, you probably experienced that type of shit where you might be looking at a motherfucker now in his head, It's kind of like, oh, this bitch want me. Now let me go spit this game and be aggressive. And like, it wasn't aggressive. It's just like, dog, I'm reading my book. I'm doing my laundry. I'm not trying to hear this bullshit, dog. And it's one of those things where you kind of came, like, if you're like an outside looking in type of dude, all he really did was come up to me and say good morning. But it was just like, I kind of knew where it was going. Like, I felt the vibe in the air, because we don't do that shit. Like, niggas don't do that shit to each other, especially black dudes. Like, he was a black dude, so he came up to me and he was like, hey, so good morning. Like, motherfucker, we don't do that. We might give each other the head nod, or like, you know, what's up, brother, or, you know, some shit like that. Hey, what's good, bro? But like, hey, how's your morning? Like, nigga, we don't do that bullshit. That's gay. That's gay off the rip. That's how I knew. And I was just like, what's up, bro? Kept reading my book. But I just don't like that shit. I don't like having to be in a position where I have to feel like I might have to defend myself. And I was wearing house slippers too, so you know a nigga can't fight in them house slippers. But let me talk about Nofap and my failure with Nofap, because on the one end, I've explained to myself that it feels like whenever I'm on Nofap and I have a long streak going, I just walk around and I feel as if I'm subconsciously controlled by like this horniness. Like, women around me suddenly become like this master over me, like subconsciously, like the little things they do, like I become attracted to. And like oh my god, like my manager wears this perfume that smells so fucking good, and when I'm on a streak and I haven't jacked off or like masturbated or anything in a while, I smell that shit and I'm just like, it's not like I'm trying to like fucking push her in the closet and, you know, hey, shut up. Like, I'm not on that type of shit, but it's like I would notice my behaviors change. Like, suddenly I'm all of a sudden a little bit more flirtatious. Like, I might joke around with her a little bit more, and it's kind of like, oh my god, okay, so this is controlling my actions. It's not like I'm cautiously going out there and doing that shit. It's more subconscious. It's more like the way my brain is now operating, because I have this sensation within me going about. It suddenly makes me act this way. And that's why I fucked with the mushrooms a lot too, because I know it's like, of course it's a drug, it's gonna make you act differently, but it wasn't necessarily like it was weird to explain, because it's not like you're high and it's not like you're drunk either. It's more so you're just different, and it's just a different experience in the world, within the world. Of course, there was like little other things that would happen, like little side effects, things like everything's a little bit more brighter and shit like that. It's not like you're fucking out of your mind, because it's such a small dose of mushroom that it's just fucking weird to explain. I don't even want to get into that shit right now, because then I'm just go all over the place and shit. But you're not high, you're not drunk, you're 100% in control of everything you do. It's just like the way you're reacting to certain things and the way people respond to you is slightly different, and you're just, it's like, I don't know, but it's like you become like this sort of magnet, and you just feel like everything is kind of connected to one another. It's just, it's not no hippie shit, trust me, it's not no fucking hippie shit. Like, I don't want to be promoting this shit. Maybe in the future, when my shit is right, and maybe my, you know, my channel more popping and shit, and I could really like get on some live streams type shit, I could really start growing shit inside my motherfucking house in the future when I do have a house. Cause I plan on keep doing this shit. Like, I'm not gonna stop this. This shit is fucking fun. Even with like, right now I have like 29 subscribers. This shit is fucking fun. Like, this shit makes my day. Every Sunday I love coming in here, fucking talking to Boruto. Not talking to Boruto, but talking about Boruto. Fucking doing these little things is fun too. Like, the every 4 months. My timeline videos, they cool too. It's just like, I've rewatched some older ones, like some that haven't came out yet, and I do plan on reoccurring or redoing or keep going on with that schedule. But it's weird to see how I've changed just from a few months ago to now. Like, back then I seemed a lot more like raw and like fuck this, fuck that, and it's kind of like some of them like is kind of embarrassed. Like, there's a, like, I talk about fat motherfuckers in one of my videos, because I was like, I had just got off work and we had like $100 orders type shit in the drive-thru, and I was kind of irritated about that. Motherfuckers doing too much in the drive-thru and shit. But it's just a noticeable change I've seen within myself, and I think that's another cool thing that I'm going through, because it's like I get to watch myself grow. Like, a part of just living my life, I get to just kind of see, okay, lamb, I guess I kind of did, I have been growing, I have been developing. Because sometimes when you're out here, bro, it kind of feels like shit is just happening, life is just moving, and I be waking up in this van, like, okay, I'm still in this van, okay, but it's like it's obvious thing. I wake up in this van, but sometimes it feels like in life in general, like you're not really progressing, you're not really moving towards anything, you're not really rising. But then you kind of look like, I've heard this about journaling too, and I might have to start being more consistent in writing in a journal, where you kind of just look over time and you look back and say, damn, that's where my mind was. Here I am now. I have been growing. It's a little bit more evidence at some type of progression in the very least. But on to my next point, bro. I want to redecorate my van, dog. Like, when I first came into this whole situation, I wanted to keep it rough. Like, if you look at it, well, you've seen the back before. It's not the prettiest thing to live in. And I wanted it to be that way because I wanted to wake up and remind myself, like, you don't want to stay comfortable in this type of life. You like, have some fucking goals, do some shit, like, get some, I guess, fruits to your labor type shit. But it's not even like it's not a bad thing. It's nothing I'm ashamed of. It's just, at this point where I am now, I'm honestly patient enough. Like, I could probably live in here for another 2 years, 3 years. Fuck it. I'm not gonna say 5 years because that's a little crazy. But I wanted to make it feel a little bit more at home. I want it to, I want to have a little bit more pride in this. I want to have a little bit more, like, I want to come in and be like, yeah, this is my spot. This is my house. I don't want to come in here and be like, well, this is where I sleep. It's good enough. Like, I want to, add a little bit more vibe to this bitch, Give me some posters. I be burning candles and shit every now and then just to, get a little thing going. Maybe I'll start making my bed, making it actually look like someone lives here, not just someone has to sleep here because he's going through like this little progression type phase. Like, I want to switch this shit the fuck up, and then maybe by next month I want it to look something different. So by the time I get my 5 months in, I'll show y'all in the back and show you what the fuck it looks like. And my last point, my nigga Ben, bro. My nigga Ben hit me up, text me. Like, he texted me a long time ago during Christmas. It's like a month ago, Christmas. And during Christmas, I was kind of like, I wasn't down and out, but it was more so like I didn't really want to. Because he sent me a message. He was like, man, I hope you and your family's cool. I hope everything's all right. But it's kind of like awkward because, like, my niggas don't know about my life, my situation right now. Because it's kind of weird. It's kind of like you do this shit for yourself. You do this because you're trying to grow yourself. You're trying to build your own thing. And in a way, I feel kind of weird about it because it's like, I would tell them it's nothing it's nothing I'm ashamed of. But it's more so I feel like they probably won't necessarily understand this whole thing. Maybe they'll think it's cool, but I don't want them to like go ahead and tell other people, and then they tell people, and the next thing you know, niggas that I don't really care too much about just think I'm some like nigga who just fell off and lives in a fucking van. He on some crazy shit now. This motherfucker crazy. Like, cause it's like sometimes I don't know if anyone else goes through this shit, but you might hang out with some niggas and they don't really know who you are. Truthfully, I'm gonna end that here though. But I love my nigga Ben. I'm glad he shot at me. I'm glad he reached out to me, texted with each other.